Dan Skelton, another man who had a very good week with 2 winners and multiple horses running extremely well. And there are very few who can get a handicap hurdler ready for the festival like him. Extraordinarily, a 4th victory in the county hurdle with the other one. And finally, Langadan gets his day in the Coral Cup as well. And Dan's with us now. Dan, morning.
Good morning.
How do you review the week as a whole from your team's point of view? How do you feel with a couple of days to let the dust settle?
I'm delighted to report that the horses have come out of the week in much better form than the staff.
That's great news on both counts. And what it tells us is that there's a depth of appreciation and an ability to enjoy what's just been achieved by everyone at your yard, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it is. It's we took 12 runners, and obviously they've all run really well. There's a couple underperform. You're going to get that for different reasons. We think we know why those horses have underperformed. But I'm just really proud of the whole team to get the horses there in the shape that they were. I'm really proud of the owners for, I'm actually really proud of the owners that weren't there. That took the advice that this isn't quite the time for these horses. And that's why we've had a pretty successful time of it this week, because there are horses that aren't there this week that'll turn up there next year, that'll be bigger, stronger, better and ready for it. And we haven't got to deal with the fallout of some disappointments from that respect. So everybody's played their part to have a good week. And actually, I was just walking around the yard this morning and we had a pretty ordinary day yesterday, I have to say. We've come down to earth to a bit of a thud. But I was walking around this morning, and actually you now lead into Aintree, off the back of a couple of winners at Cheltenham, and all of a sudden, even Aintree feels easier. So that the boost that you get from having winners this week is incredible. And I just like Paul, like Jamie, we steer the ship. It's our name, but there's a lot of feet paddling under the water that you never see, and to be honest with you, never get appreciated as much as they should do. But times like this, you're very, very thankful that you've got everybody helping you.
To what extent do you enjoy the success of others during Festival Week? A strange question it might be, but when you see Nichols winning Grade 1s, for example, in races that you don't, in some professions, people aren't that happy for their rivals. I got quite a strong sense of camaraderie last week.
There was, and I know this Presbyterian Cup, it's all fun and games and everything else, and England versus Ireland thing. Well, it's the cup might as well be given out on October the 1st, if I'm honest with you at the moment. But it's you do get a little bit of that, and you pat Paul on the back, and he hasn't had a winner there for a couple of years, and I know how much it means to him. And we all know that we're doing right. We all know that we if we've got the ammunition, we can compete. And then to go and do it, it's just a bit of a relief. It just makes you feel like, whew, we've done it. That's at least we've gone and proven that for another year. And I mean, I'm not speaking on Paul's behalf here, but sort of as one of the trainers in the UK with a large number of horses, you do feel a little bit of like, if we're not doing it, then are we letting everybody down a bit? And I don't know whether you should feel like that or not, but when you do have a couple of winners, almost for Team GB, you're like, I don't know, maybe it feels like you're helping everybody. One guy last week who was absolutely brilliant, who come over to me twice and was so happy for me, and it meant a lot, was Charlie Longston. You won't meet a nicer guy than him, and I think he was sort of cheering for us all a little bit, but. Our racing, our industry is great, and how can you not want Henry de Bromhead to win? How can you not be touched by those stories? And Honeysuckles. I mean, he beat a great friend of mine in Harry Fry, and Harry Fry will be absolutely chomping at the bit that happened. But it created a phenomenal storyline with that mare winning, and you just think, wow, we're all involved in this, and we're very lucky to be a part of it.
Talk about your 2 winners. Favois, first of all, we're going in reverse order. A great ride from Bridget, her 2nd victory in the county hurdle. I got to say, I couldn't see this one, Harry. Could you see it at all?
I could, yeah, because he's a little rascal, and he didn't let himself down at all on the ground in the Betfair. And he's just one of those horses that when it's all right, he'll give you his running, and when it's not, he won't. He's not a massive lover of fences. He was our 1,000th winner, lifetime winner last year over fences at Ascot, and he jumped around Ascot acceptably that day, but he was always going to be sort of more competitive horse in handicap hurdles, and yeah, it all come to the fore, and I think we had a nice time there.
What were you saying there? I couldn't quite lip read that.
To both owners, actually, both him and Colm, I was like, "You've done it. You've had your winner at the festival." I actually said it never occurred to me. I've obviously trained for Colm since the very start of my career, but it never occurred to me that I'd never actually asked Ian and Suzanne sort of what their ambition was in the sport, because they turn up wherever the runners are and just have a good day and enjoy it for what it is. And Ian will have a few quid on the horse. He's not a big gambler, but he just enjoys it for what it is. He's semi-retired, and I never actually said to him, what do you want to achieve in the sport? It was only after that he said, "Oh yeah, I suppose this was this would have been high up there." But he's a very sort of level-headed guy, and I don't think it's sunk in for him yet. But Colm's slightly different matter. Obviously, Colm's been going there for many, many years, and he's to have a winner in his own colours means an awful lot to him. And I knew that was the top of his pile to have a winner there. And good old Langer Dan, he got his day in the sun eventually. Talk about handicap plots of all time. I mean, I think one of the greatest training feats of all time is that Galopin Des Champs got into a handicap.
I mean, you will look back on that and think, how did I manage to finish second to him with Langer Dan? But I suppose if Langer Dan had won that race, then he might not have been winning it this time round. Who knows?
No, exactly. And I tried at the start of the year to make him into a conditions horse, make him into a graded horse. He went to Aintree with 4 runners and went, right, I'm not interested in this. I love the hustle and the bustle, and I love it to almost get a bit dirty. And that's how he loves it. I mean, look at him here. You could fit him in your pocket, but he's just got the heart the size of a lion. He just wants to do it, and he did ultimately.
And how do you now get him to repeat that? Presumably, you have to pick and choose what you do with him very, very carefully.
Yeah, I think the thing is this year, perhaps with the English handicapper, I've seen it more with the novices more than the open horses. But the novices have been massively compressed. The handicaps have been massively compressed. You're getting horses that are winning 2 hurdles handsomely and getting a mark of like 125, 126. Back in the past, they'd have been starting life in handicaps off 140. I think when you get to a sort of a Langer Dan and a favour stage, you're pretty easy to read. We know that Langer Dan can't go the next level. We know he can't turn up against the likes of a Marie's Rock in a rail keel hurdle. Tried that, couldn't do it. We know that that's his level, and the handicapper will just make life harder for him in handicaps. But there's no point probably going outside of handicaps with him for 2 reasons. One, he's proved he's not quite good enough, and number 2, he just loves those big fields. He loves to get himself in a little scrap.
I asked Paul Nicholls about what he might take to Aintree. Have you done the same as him? Have you got a load of horses that we haven't seen this week who you might be targeting at that meeting?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. We've got a big team. We've got 1 for most races, 2 for some, 3 for others. If they're okay, they'll go. We've had a pretty sort of quiet time of it through January and February because of the ground, obviously. So we've got to get it back out there and run those horses if they're okay and if the ground's correct, which I'm sure it will be.
And how's Protector out?
He's fine. It's very, very tired, but fine. I thought he ran an absolutely brilliant race. It was a phenomenally good Gold Cup, I felt. There was no let up the whole way. Ahoy Senor obviously took us on a strong gallop. When he came down, we strode on. We wanted to be in there pitching at the bottom of the hill, and we were, having gone a strong pace. We felt that our best chance was to make it into a stamina contest and see if those 2 extra furlongs at Cheltenham were going to find the likes of Brave Man's Game and Galopin Des Champs out. Ultimately, it cost us probably 4th place being quite so strong. But you don't go out there thinking and hoping you'll finish 4th. You go out there to win. And I was very, very proud of the horse. He tried his hardest. He ultimately came up a bit short. And that's sport. We dust ourselves down. We go again. He won't go to Aintree. We tried that last year. He doesn't back up a Gold Cup run that quickly because he puts so much into it. But he'll be back next year for the Betfair, and we'll probably go a slightly different route. We know if Galopin Des Champs and Brave Man's Game are strutting around, then they're going to be in the very, very difficult / impossible to beat category. I've got no excuse for what happened on Friday.
Dan, thanks so much for your time.
Cheers.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.